Hi guys, this is Sajak from Broadband.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to install OTA updates on your rooted OnePlus phone. So, as of now, you could see my phone has obtained root via Magisk. Let me show you, and a few modules are also installed. And likewise, my current build number or version number for my phone, let me show you. It's the version number is 304, and let me take a screenshot as well. So it's for 304. Likewise is of the December patch for last year, as you could see from here. Let me take a screenshot of this as well. Moreover, I have currently got an update. The update comes with a new version number of 830. Let me show you. It's the 830, and it comes with the latest July patch of this year. So in this video, I'll show you how to install this OTA update and at the same time have the root as well on your phone. So we will check mark both the requirements at once. So on that note, please take a backup of all the data on your phone, and then let's get started. First and foremost, you will have to launch the Magisk app, go to modules, and make sure to disable all the modules just to be on the safer side. Once that is done, you will now have to restore the images, the stock images. So for that, tap on uninstall Magisk, then tap on restore images. If you get an error message that stock backup does not exist, as you could see in my case, let me show you once again, the stock backup does not exist, then you could easily rectify this issue in a matter of few minutes. I have made a separate guide and a video on the same. So let me show you once again for the sake of reference. So first and foremost, you will have to get hold of the same firmware which is currently installed onto your phone. So in my case, the firmware is, let me verify it once. So this is the firmware version. CPH 2447 is the OnePlus 11 for the Indian variant, and then I have the version number. So I already have a firmware for that, and this is the firmware. You will get the firmware in a zip file, and upon extraction you will get a payload.bin file. You will now have to extract the payload.bin file via the Fastboot Enhanced folder tool. This is the Fastboot Enhanced tool. You may get hold of this tool from my guide. So download and extract the tool onto your PC. So let me show you. Extract the tool onto your PC, and once that is done, transfer the payload.bin file from the stock firmware which is currently stored onto your phone. So get hold of the payload.bin file and transfer it inside the Fastboot Enhanced folder. Now launch the Fastboot Enhanced tool. Go to payload dumper, click on browse, and choose the payload.bin file. Click on open, then go to partition, and now you have to select the initboot file. Then check mark allow incremental, click on extract image, choose the location, and this should be the platform tools directory. So let's choose the platform tools folder, and let me verify if there is no other files. So let me remove existing files first, and now let's extract it inside platform tools directory. Click on OK, and the extraction is now complete, and we have got the firmware, the stock initboot file which correspond to the same version which is there onto my phone. So once you have got the stock initboot file, you will now have to transfer the file onto your phone as well. For that, change this to charging this device via USB and change it to file transfer. This is also required for ADB command as well. In case of charging this device, the ADB command will not work. So make sure to change it to transferring file via USB. Once that is done, you will now have to transfer the file onto your phone. So copy the file and paste it here. Do not paste inside any folder. Simply transfer the file onto your internal storage. This is also known as SD card. So simply transfer the file in the internal storage. As you could see, this is the OnePlus 11 5G, and this is the file over here. So do not place it inside any folder, just inside the internal storage. Once you have placed the file inside the internal storage, let's proceed ahead with the next step. Now you will have to enable USB debugging on your phone. So go to settings, about device, version, and tap on version number 7 times. You will get a prompt that you are now a developer. So go back, go to additional settings, then go to developer option and enable the toggle next to USB debugging. You will get a prompt on your phone. Tap on OK, and with this, debugging is now enabled. Let's verify the same. So go to platform folder address bar. For that, first off, get hold of the Android SDK platform tools from here and extract them onto your PC. You may extract them anywhere you want. Once you have done the extraction, go to its address bar, type in CMD and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside platform tools. Now type in ADB devices and make sure that you are getting an ID. If you are not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official USB cable that came with your phone and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out these USB tweaks and make sure that you're getting an ID. Once you're getting this ID, let's now proceed ahead with the next step. Now you have to type in ADB shell and hit enter, and you will get your device code name and the $sign. Likewise, you might also get a prompt on your phone. Tap on allow or OK. After that, type in SU and hit enter, and you will now get a major super user request. So tap on grant, and in the CMD window you should now see a hash sign. This is extremely important. The $sign should now be changed to a hash, and the CMD window has now got the root permission, so we could now move ahead with the next step. Next up, you will now have to get hold of the partition list of your phone. So copy this command and paste it in the CMD window, hit enter, and now if your phone came with Android 12 or older version, then you will have to use the boot partition. On the other hand, if it came with Android 13 or higher version, then you have to use the init boot file. As of now, my phone is OnePlus 11 which came with Android 13, so I will be using the init boot file throughout this video. If your phone came with Android 12 or older version, you will have to use the boot file throughout the video. So keep this point in mind. So as of now, let me use the init boot, and in my case, you will now have to note down the address of both the partition, the init boot A and the init boot B. So let's get that job done as well. So in case of init boot A, let me first copy it in the notepad and paste it here. Likewise, let's do the same for the init boot B as well. Copy it, and now we have got the address of both the init boot A and the init boot B, as you could see. So let's now move ahead with the next step. Now you will have to type in the below command. This is for the boot partition which we are not using. This is for the init boot partition which we are using now. So let's now use the command syntax. This is the command syntax for init boot A and the init boot B. So what you have to do is simply replace the address with this address. So in my case, this is the address for init boot A, which is the SDE32, and for init boot B, the address is SDE63. So I will simply replace the address accordingly. So let's do that as well. So for init boot A, the address is SDE32. So this is for the init boot A, and for init boot B, the address is SDE63. So let me change it as well. Please keep in mind that this might not be the case with you. The address might be different for you. Even if you are using a OnePlus 11 phone, the partition and the address might be different. So don't copy paste my command. Instead, use your own address in the CMD window to get the job done. So with that said, as you could see, I have got the address of both the init boot A and B. Simply replace the address for init boot A and B which we have got in the CMD window, and with this I have got the command for both the init boot A and B, as you could see. Now let me simply remove this arrow and the extra stuff from here, and just to repeat, this is for the init boot A and this is for the init boot B. So the if command is for the location of the init boot file which we have placed inside the platform tools, as you could see, or rather inside our phone. So the if command is for the location of the init boot file, so it's in the SD card, and as you could see, the init boot file is inside the SD card of internal storage. On the other hand, the off command is the partition address, which in our case is SDE32 and 63. So we have got for both the init boot A and B. Once that is done, let's now move ahead with the next step. So we have got the command, and now you will have to simply type in this command in the CMD window. So these are the two commands. Let's copy and paste them, and it will be flashed to the partition. So first off, type in the first command, hit enter. It's now flashed. Likewise, type in the second command for the init boot B partition and hit enter, and it has been flashed as well. So as of now, we have flashed the stock init boot across both the init boot A and init boot B partition. Once that is done, you will now have to do a direct install from Magisk. So let's launch the Magisk app. Tap on install, choose direct install, tap on let's go, and wait for a few seconds. And once that is done, tap on reboot. your phone will now reboot to the OS. So let's just wait for a few more seconds, and once your phone boots to the OS, you will now have the stock init boot file and your phone will be rooted as well, and then you could easily use the Magisk restore image option without any issue whatsoever. I'll show you that as well. So let's just wait for a few more seconds, and then we'll verify the result as well. So the boot up is now complete in a matter of few seconds. I have already made a separate video and a guide on the same as well. This is the video. You may also have a look at this video and get the job done. Anyways, with that said, let's now launch the Magisk app and show you the result. So the Magisk is still installed. We have the root as well, and apart from that, we also have the stock boot init file onto our phone as well. To verify the same, we could now start the process of restoring the images. So now if I tap on uninstall Magisk and restore images, you could see the restoration is now done. I have got the restoration done. So with this, the issue has been rectified, and we are done with the first step of installing the OTA updates on rooted OnePlus. So with this, the restore image is now complete. So we were able to restore the image because we had got the stock init boot across both the partition. So once you are done with this guide, you may go back to my guide, and then let's move ahead with the next step. We are done with the step 1 of restoring the images. Once that is done, you could now install the, or rather download the OTA update. Do not install, simply download. So go to settings, and then you have to go to about device, Oxygen OS, and as you could see, I have a new pending update. So let's just wait for a few seconds. Now tap on download and install and wait for the update to be downloaded. It will then extract as well, but you will not have to install the update. Just wait for it to be downloaded. It will take only a few seconds. So in the meantime, I am again recapping what we have done till now. So in most cases, beginning with Android 14, if you are on OnePlus phone and if you tap on uninstall Magisk restore images, then you might get an error message, something along the following line that stock backup does not exist. So we'll have to first flash the stock init boot or the boot img file across both the partition. Once you have flashed that using our guide and the video, Magisk will then easily be able to get hold of the stock init boot file, and then you could do the restore image option without any issue whatsoever. Once you have done that, you could now go back to my guide and get started with the steps to install OTA on a rooted OnePlus phone or any other phone for that matter. So let's just wait, and as you could see, downloading is now just about to get complete. It will take just a few more seconds for that to happen, and as soon as the downloading gets complete, please do not tap on install. So let's wait for a few more seconds, and then it will now extract, and the extraction and verification will take up to around 5 to 6 minutes, and in some cases it might take even longer depending on the OTA size. In my case, the OTA is for around 2.2 GB, I guess. So it might take up to around 6 to 8 minutes. So let's just wait for that to happen. So guys, the extraction is now complete. It will now verify the update package, which will take just a few seconds. And as soon as the verification is also done, please do not tap on install. This is extremely important. You will not have to tap on install. Rather, go back and launch the Magisk app. And from the Magisk app, you will now have to tap on install next to Magisk, and now select install to inactive slot. Then tap on OK in the prompt that appears and tap on let's go, and it will now carry out the task. And once that is done, you will get a reboot option. Again, please do not tap on reboot from here. Instead, now you have to go back to the software update section, and now you will have to hit the install button from here. So again, I am repeating the entire workflow. First off, you will have to download the update. Once the update has been downloaded, it will be extracted and verified. Once that is done, you will get an install option, but do not tap on install. Rather, go back to the Magisk app and select install to inactive slot. Once that is done, you will again get a reboot option. Again, don't tap on reboot from the Magisk. Instead, come back to the software update app, and from there, now you could tap on the install option, and it will now install the OTA update package, and your phone will boot to the inactive slot that will have the latest OTA update as well as root, because we have now used the install to inactive slot. So Magisk has rooted the inactive slot. Likewise, we have also flashed the OTA update to the inactive slot. So as of now, upon a reboot, a slot change will take place and we will now be on the new slot. This slot will have both the latest OTA update as well as the root as well. So I'll show you both of them, and with this our task would stand complete as well. Do keep in mind that the first boot up might take up some additional time. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about, because we have just installed a new OTA update. So it could take up to around a couple of minutes as well in rare cases, or in some cases it's usually around 20 to 30 seconds. So let's just wait for the phone to boot up. So guys, we are now inside the OS, and let me now launch it and show you the result. So first off, if I launch the Magisk app, and let me show you, my phone is still rooted via Magisk. As you could see, Magisk is still there on my phone. Likewise, the module is there. You could now re-enable the module if you want. That is completely optional. As you might be aware, initially I had told you to turn off the module. Now that we are done with the task, you may now re-enable the module as well. Likewise, if I now go to the settings menu on my phone, so from settings menu, let me go to about device, and now if I go to the version, you could see I am on the latest 830. Likewise, I should be on the latest patch as well. It's the July 5, 2024 patch. So initially, let me show you as well. I have taken a screenshot as well initially. So just give me a second. So initially I was on the version 304, but now I am on the version, this is the version, now I am the version 830. So from 304 I have done an update to 830. Likewise, initially I was on the patch of the December 5th of last year, but now I have installed the latest update, which is of the July 2024, as you could see. So we have also installed the update, and likewise the root is still intact and still there onto our phone. So guys, these were the steps to install OTA update on your phone and at the same time have root as well. So in a nutshell, just to recap, first off, disable all the modules, then you have to tap on uninstall Magisk, then select restore images. After choosing restore images, you might get a warning or an error message that the stock backup does not exist. So you will have to flash the stock init boot or the boot file across both the partition using this video or the guide. Likewise, I have also shown you in the video itself how this could be done. So flash the init boot file across both the partition, and once that is done, again you have to tap on restore images, and this time the process stands complete. Once that is done, you will now have to download the OTA update. Once the update has been downloaded, wait for the extraction and verification, but do not tap on install. Rather, go back to the Magisk app and select install to inactive slot, and let's go. Once that is done, you will get a reboot option. Again, do not tap on reboot, but go back to the software update, and from there tap on install, and this time the latest OTA update will be installed onto your phone and the root will be there as well. You may then re-enable the modules as well, and with this the task stands complete. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any queries with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.